Hello there! Thank you so much for coming back for my second video. Today's video is from a day at the park with my roommate John and our friend Glen. The audio from this video is pretty much unusable because John plays copywritten music in the car and at the skate park, so I'm going to narrate the funny parts and summarize the other ones. So we're in the car, and John and Glen are participating in some playful banter, and John asks Glen for a refresher on the directions. Glen replies. Glen starts saying to John, "Go straight through the intersection, but you might..." John jokes back under his breath, "Lean forward." Glen continues, "Have to be careful with your lane picking, man. Be careful with the lane picking. No, it's only one lane that goes forward, man. No." John moans melodramatically, "Oh, God, I'm gonna..." "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now you've already passed? That was illegal, John. John, that was an illegal move," asks Glen emphatically. John stutters to get a word in with Glen, but all he can manage is, "No, it wasn't." Glen continues, "No, that was a solid line you went through. It was not dotted. No. We need to pull the car over and call the police, John. That was an illegal move." John, laughing along with Glen and I, screamed, "I crossed a white line! Come get me!" He giggled. Glen and I laughed at his performance. So, something I'm going to say real quick is that John doesn't want to be on the internet very much, so he's only going to be in a couple of shots. He just doesn't want to, and I respect that. So he's around, but he's just not going to be on camera very much. So in this part, Glen doesn't like the song that's playing, so he's saying, "Next, next, 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 next," and then, "Is there a next option?" And then he lifts his shirt up super seductively and flashes his belly at the camera, and then he for some reason thinks better of it and just goes right back to skating. And I thought that was really funny. Glen is goofing off on his skateboard, and then he steps off to avoid falling. Then he turns around, spikes the camera, meaning he looked directly in the camera without meaning to, and then gets back on his skateboard and falls dramatically. I, of course, am visibly concerned, but just like Willy Wonka, Glen hops right back up and says, "I totally did that on purpose. It was just for fun," and boards away. And then he goes back to skating, and I want attention, so here's the shot from the last video with even more attention seeking. I asked John if he was mad at me for sneezing during the previous shot while wiggling on his skateboard. He walks up to me really quickly and then stops right in front of me, so I act cute, as one does. He pushes me, and I'm surprised. He pushes me again, and I reach out my arms to grab onto him. He steps back and pushes my skateboard with his foot. "Oh no!" I exclaim. He pushes me again, but it's lost its novelty, so I'm kinda over it. He soon becomes over it too and moves on. Glen does something on his skateboard that he doesn't like or that's not good enough, and then throws his skateboard in the most relatable way ever. I almost fall and what's this? Glen tells me the footage of me learning to skate will be worth millions if I make it big. And I'm not quite sure if he's saying if I make it big on YouTube or if I make it big as a professional skateboarder. Either way, he believes in me. Then I actually fall. I leaned back too far and let the board get out from under me. John gets me just as the board goes flying and I hit the ground. Then I spike the camera, realize, and say out loud, "You're still filming me." Glen, who has been talking in the background this whole time, says, "Yeah, that's why I have back problems." I sigh and stand up and try to walk it off, swiveling my hips in their sockets. Immediately after, Glen drops it low on his skateboard. Then we're back in the car, and it's music time, but it's all copywritten music, so I'm still gonna talk. Glen was car dancing, but every time I'd try to film him, he'd stop, so I stopped trying. And John's music was, of course, perfect for the situation, and I wish I could play it for you. John is really great at creating atmosphere, especially through music and food and a lot of 3D things. He's really great at creating an atmosphere and creating the space with music, especially though. Thank you so much for watching. I've been editing this video for a very long time and it feels so good to get it up for anyone planning to watch. Please like this video and leave a comment with any feedback or things that you found exciting about this video. I would love to grow and become the best I can be. Please also subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot of fun things in February and the rest of 2019. Some of the things I'm going to be doing in February include ballet classes and learning violin again, because those are two things that I did growing up that I sort of allowed circumstances to take away from me, and I allowed myself to stop enjoying. So look forward to this new content. It's going to be very exciting, very new. Not really new, I don't know. It's going to be different from what I've put out so far, which is not much. So yeah, subscribe, get ready for better content.